Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar. A webinar we do every year in which we try to explain to our future students what the properties are of our master program. First of all, I would like to apologize for being later than foreseen, but that's due to a morning dentist appointment that I had and due to the fact that I could not be there. You may see that, for example, my right cheek is still a bit immobile, which is a result of that dentist appointment. I hope you can all understand me well. So what I will first do, I will first go through the a number of slides we prepared wherein we explain a number of things, and then in the end you can ask your questions making use of the chat option that we have available next to the YouTube channel, next to the YouTube view. Yeah. So my name is Tim de Pre, and I'm since 2008. I'm the practical and organizational coordinator of this master program, this joint master program, in which we try together with 11 universities to bring a program which is close to what people want to study if they want also to work in an international marine landscape later on in their careers. So this presentation, I will give some background. Then after that, I will say a few things on the application selection and enrollment procedures. I will also say something on the mobility in the master program. And then also I will highlight some of the joint events that we organize in our master program. Yeah. Good. So IMBSC, a little bit of a background. We started already in 2008. In 2008 with the so-called EMBC program, which was the preceding program. And since 2013, we upgraded to EMBC Plus with a few more partners. And then in 2017, we did a big restructuring of our program, and that led to the current program, which you're most probably also applying for. This shows you the number of students, let's say, in the first years in the master program. We were always around between 35 and 50 students. Since we started the IMBSC program with many more partners, but also with a complete different mobility approach, we end up always around 100 students. This academic year, for example, 120 students have started the master program. So in the meantime, we have over 600 alumni, all that are working all over the world in different programs and in different jobs. This year in the master program, I already told you, we have around 120 students, and in total we have around 37 nationalities in the master program, which is a huge diversity from a cultural but also an international perspective, and which I think is something we can be proud on, and that students really enjoy the fact that they can be together and learn to know people from all over the world. Partner universities, here you see an overview of them, some views on locations as well. So Ghent University in Belgium is the coordinating university. Then we have three French universities, University of Sorbonne. We have also University of Western Brittany, and then finally also our latest new university, the University of Côte d'Azur. We have two Spanish universities, University of the Basque Country and University of Oviedo. Then in Portugal we have University of the Algarve, and Italy we have a Polytechnic University of Marche, which is situated in Ancona. Then going more to the north, we have the University of Bergen and Gothenburg, Bergen in Norway, Gothenburg in Sweden, and then finally in Ireland we have Galway Mayo Institute of Technology. The originating partners that were already there from the start is Ghent University together with Sorbonne, Algarve and Oviedo. And then later on, GMIT Galway joined, and then all the later universities are actually new universities that were added to the consortium from 2017 onwards. Okay, we are our background, maybe also important to mention, is the fact that we are connected to the EMBRC research infrastructure, so the European Marine Biological Resource Center, which is a network of research institutions all over Europe, in which they try to join forces for marine biological research. I think I can recommend you to have a look at their website, because it shows you immediately the variety of things they're working in, but also why we think it's important is that we have the same, of course, thematic area, but they also actively participate in our master program, and they also provide you with theses and professional practice places, so it makes a good connection to also potential future jobs as well. If you look at the master program, it's actually structured. It's a 2 years master program, structured in 4 semesters. It's a full-time program. I think it's important to say that as well. And we kind of have divided our 2 years as such that mobility can be taken up to the level you personally want, or how you can see it. So you can actually stay in the same country for longer periods, or you can actually also change per semester to another mobility. I will say a few words on that in a later moment as well. So the first year consists of 2 semesters. We use the ECTS kind of unit to quantify our courses. So ECTS is the European Credit Transfer System, and so one semester contains 30 ECTS, so one academic year contains 60 ECTS. So in the first semester, with the fundamental modules, you will take in total 30 ECTS of courses. So wherever you follow this first semester, you will have the same courses, the same learning outcomes. So and the courses are marine ecology, oceanography, marine policy and governance, quantitative methods, marine genomics, and GIS. And beside that, you can also take one additional so-called transferable skills course. Important on this fundamentals module is that so Ghent is offering this one, Oviedo as well, Brest, Algarve, GMIT, and Ancona. And we have also, since 2 years, as a result from the pandemic, it also has some good results, we have also the option to take this semester online. For those, for example, that are still in a job or that are not able to travel already from the start of the program onwards, you can still take this in an online version. Note that people that get a scholarship from Erasmus Mundus, as we are also an Erasmus Mundus funded program, those people are not eligible to take the online semester, so they have to be mobile in Europe. The second semester starts with your first thematic module that you can choose. It's 18 credits, so it's or 3 courses of 6 credits, or for example 2 courses of 6 credits and 2 of 3. So it's 18 credits you will follow there, and your semester will be completed with your professional practice or internship. And we close the first academic year with so-called Annual Symposium, which is a big event we organize on an annual basis, where we gather students from the first and the second year at the central place in Europe. Then the second academic year starts with the summer school. So during the summer, you will take a 10 days summer school at a marine station. And so mostly in the past, it has been organized in Sweden at the marine station in Tjernö. And after that summer school, you take your second thematic module. So you can choose from a range of different thematic modules. I think you're already busy with this because it's also important for the application, of course. And then during this semester, we also organize an online course, which is considered as a preparation towards your personal thesis research work. This online course contains elements on data management, science communication, project management, so a whole range of different kind of transferable skills which are useful to have as a modern scientist. Sorry. And then finally, Your third semester, your fourth semester, sorry, is completed with a 30 ECTS thesis research project, which is a personal project, and where it's the aim that you actually do on a certain site. This can be any partner actually, associate or full partner. You can do your thesis research. Thesis research, which you present again during the annual symposium, where then at that time also first year students will also be present. And so this presentation in front of a big audience is also immediately an exercise for you on how to present in front of a public audience and an open audience, so that people can ask you questions and get an attentive interaction with you. I think important, I will not go during this session in detail about the courses, because you have so many courses, so many mobilities. So I want to actually, for this part, direct you to the website. And if you go to the website, you will notice, for example, if you go to courses and mobilities, that you can actually just have a look here. So the first semester, you see the different courses. Second and third semester, you see the big parts of courses we have. This is several thematic modules. If you click on one of these thematic modules, you will also see the courses that are within. If you click then on a specific course, you will find more information about this course, the number of credits, for example, but also a short description of the course, and also potentially links, for example, to the course system at the Ghent University website. At Ghent University website, just to show you this as well, you can, if you go to the university website, as we're the coordinating university, you will also find all the information there. So information for prospective students, you can click on courses and programs. If you go to master programs taught in English, then you will find the master, our master in marine biological resources. You should find it as well under the faculty of sciences. So Master of Science in Marine Biological Resources. There we go. This one here. So if you go to the program, you can actually go to the program summary. And at the program summary, you will again find all the courses during the full program. If you click then on a specific course, you can also find the specifications here in English. And the course specifications will show you, okay, what is the content, for example, of the course, what do you want to know, what are the initial competences, the final competences, and, for example, what is the evaluation method, the examination method that is used. So I recommend you to have a close look at this information as well, because it helps you to make a good decision on what you want to study. Good. Mobility is an important, very important aspect in our master program. So mobilities, you can choose your first semester, you can choose your second semester thematic module, you can choose your professional practice mobility, your third semester thematic module, and finally also your master thesis. At the time of application, you have at least to indicate, okay, where do you want to study the first semester, the second semester, as well as the third semester thematic module. These are, at the moment of application, you have to identify this. Professional practice and thesis are decided in a later stage. We make for the professional practice, for example, we make a catalog for you. And for the thesis, it's something you can select on a personal basis. So a few words on the IMBC joint events and activities. So the fundamentals module already mentioned this, so I can move on to the professional practice. So your professional practice is something like 6 to 8 weeks that you will work and experience what it is to be a marine professional. It's corresponding to a workload of around 240 hours. And the whole idea is that you just can become familiar with what it is to be a marine professional. The evaluation of this part works through a portfolio and then also a presentation during the annual symposium. The Annual Symposium, as I mentioned already, it's a 1 week event in June or July. So this year, for example, we will, or this next year, of course, in the summer in 2022, we will be organizing this one in Faro in Portugal, and it's we organize there 2 days of 2 days of thematic sessions, workshops, and also 2 days of symposium where there are different presentations, and we see it as an important networking event as well. Then the joint school takes part during the summer, and mostly organized at Sven Löwen Center of Marine Sciences in Tjärnö in Sweden. So the content of this summer school is the idea is that in teams you develop a full project, you write a proposal, you actually do the research, and you also report. You can see it as a preparation for your thesis, because it's actually a mini thesis. We also use the same kind of evaluation criteria as for your master thesis, so you get used to how a certain thesis is evaluated. Then the thesis prep course is, as I mentioned already, is an online course with different elements in it. There's things on information management, scientific communication, project management, and you get hands-on exercises, both personal one as things that are done in teams. And then finally, as I mentioned, an important element, of course, is also a 30 ECTS thesis module. If you want to know more about all these kind of things, I also, again, would like to direct you to the website of the program that I already quickly showed you here. But if you go to current students, and there you go, for example, to master thesis, you will find all the important elements on the master thesis. Something on how you select your thesis, what's the timing, for example, how it should look like, for example, and how the thesis defense look like. You can also have a look at a list of former master theses, and a whole number of these you can actually even read and open the manuscript. So if you have a sleepless night, this is the perfect resource for you to actually know and to learn more, but also maybe for some things to get a nice distraction. Brings me to the application process. So we work in 3 rounds. We're quite special in this sense, because many master programs have only 1 round of applications. In order to give you a quicker update and to organize ourselves in the best potential way, as we are many partners, we organize this in 3 rounds. So the first round is open until the 31st of January. Second round is open until the 31st of March. And then for European students, only for EU students, we still have some possibility an extra month. That's for people that have decided on in a very late stage, for example, on what they want to study. So the first rounds are also for EU students and also for non-EU students. Important for these first 2 rounds is that these are the rounds that you can apply for an Erasmus Mundus scholarship. So the higher you see your chances, or you want your chances in order to get a scholarship, we advise you to apply as early as possible in the process, because that will increase also your possibilities. So if you apply, you already know from the application form what is important there. So you need at least to have a bachelor degree. In case you do not have your bachelor degree yet while you're still studying, then the aim is that you upload their documentation on what is your current status in the bachelor program, and transcript of records as far as you have them. And for example, then later on, the legalized copies of these things can be sent in a later stage. That's the only acceptance that we allow, of course. If things are not ready, they can simply not be made yet. Important is also your motivation form. Make sure you spend enough time on this, because this is one of the most important elements as well in your application. And of course, also make sure you have referees, your referee statements, that you have to indicate the number of referees yeah, that they are also taking their time in order to make sure that they fill in a valid referential letter for you, a referential form for you. So some remarks. So if the diploma is not obtained yet, you can upload a statement from the university. Language test as well. If you're not obtained yet, upload a document showing when you will take the language test. Then referee reports. Yeah, you just have to enter the details of the referees, and then they will be invited to complete a referee form. Early January. So we're busy already uploading these referee forms, but as the Christmas break is imminent, during the Christmas break we will not upload these forms. So after the Christmas break, from the 10th of January onwards, we will again upload these referee statements. If you have submitted already your application, you can still log in and see actually your application. You cannot make changes anymore, but you will also be able to see when a referee report has been added or not. So then you see a notification added in your application form that things were well received. The CV must be in Europass CV format, very important. So use the Europass format, standardized format. Why do we do this? Because it's a European program, and actually also to make sure we can easily compare different CVs. And for the motivation, be to the point. So don't write kind of a prosa of several pages, although we know that you're happy to study something about the sea. Yeah, be to the point, yeah, and answer also the questions. You know, motivational statement is split up in different sections. Yeah, try to give answers that are relevant to each of these sections. So then, once you have applied, yeah, we will evaluate you. So we have a circulating selection board. During the last program meeting, we have identified our selection board for this academic year. And each application will be reviewed by at least two different reviewers, yeah, and they will score you on a number of criteria. So study results are one of the criteria, motivation, your CV, the referee statements, and I think that's and then the total package that you upload. So it's different elements that will then lead to a final outcome, a final score, yeah, and this score is something we use then for awarding scholarships as well as for awarding the mobility. So even if you don't apply for a scholarship, be careful, because also your ranking will be used to award you a specific mobility. So if the higher you ranked, yeah, the higher the probability that you get indeed the mobility as you wanted to have. 15 days after the application deadline, we will give you a notification of academic acceptance and also scholarship selection results. Once accepted, of course, then you get also acceptance letters that you may need, for example, for visa purposes. So, selection and enrollment, just a small remark on that. Your ranking per round plus the overall ranking is used then to assign the mobilities. So, if you have a high rank in the first round, then the higher the chance to get the preferred mobility as well. And how we do it, we have a number of places at each university for each mobility, and then we just start assigning them. As soon as something is full, we go to the second option of the person if he is lower ranked, of course, and that's the way we assign mobilities. So for the enrollment process, important is also that you start as soon as possible to prepare your legalized documents. This can take some time for different countries, so we are aware of that, but don't wait until 1 week before you have to come to Europe, because else there is no way that you will get there. If you're awarded a scholarship, then of course you don't have to pay the tuition fees, because these are taken from your scholarship. But if you're a self-sponsored student, as we call it, then you will receive an invoice of the first part, €1,000, after the notification of the selection results. Yeah, the payment of this invoice secures also your place in the program. Note also that this €1,000 is non-refundable. So if you decide at a later stage, no, I will do something else, then that first €1,000, which we use to complete all the administrative preparations, yeah, this is non-refundable. So that's something you lose. And the second part of the invoice of your tuition fee will be available after the last round of applications, once we have a full view, because for us it's from an administrative point much easier just to send out one series of invoices to all the remaining students. Once you have paid the first part, you will already receive your IMBRC email address, and you will also get access already to a number of materials and resources that may be useful. So in the coming months, some practicalities is that you have to prepare for paper documents. You have to prepare also your visum if you need one. And I think don't underestimate this. Yeah. And if you have a look at our website again, you will see that we have specific visum information. And the past months, we spend a lot of time on updating this section of the website as well. And also updating our information, kind of frequently asked questions. I will get to that in a minute as well. That gives you some information. You will have to prepare for housing and accommodation. Each partner will then also give you appropriate information. Insurance is something, of course, that you have to take into account. And also, for example, you will have to maybe inform also your family and the relatives on the fact that you will be away, that you will start quite a challenging study program, and you have to keep into account that there are certain deadlines, key dates that you will have to respect as well. How can you contact us? This is the address in Ghent, so of the coordination office. A lot of people send us emails, but actually since shortly we actually want to encourage you to use actually only this form, because it helps us. We are a team of different people, and it also helps us to give you the correct answers. I will just illustrate this. So if you go to the website, you see at the bottom, you see the Contact Us button. Now, we prepared in the past months a whole question bank as well, because we get many questions that are returning, and maybe some of the questions that you will ask after the presentation are this kind of questions. So if I just type in here something, yeah, application, yeah, then you will see here are already 4 articles, yeah, questions of questions that we often get. So what is the deadline, conditions to request and to follow the online semester? I live in a different country. I already sent all my documents. Do I have to send them again via post or mail? So if you click down on this one, you get then also the answer. Yeah. If you say it's not helpful, yeah, you can click not helpful, and then this will lead you to the contact form. Yeah, contact form, where you fill in your name, your email address, and you can already select one of the topics here that you want to ask a question about. And that's important for us, because if you select here a topic, you will be sure that your question is directed to the person that is relevant, that is most experienced in your specific question, and that will help us also to formulate an answer in the as soon as we can. Yeah? So I think it's important that you use this tool in order to formulate your questions to the team, and that we can try to help you out. So as I mentioned already several times, we're not just one person in the team. We are a team of 4 to 5 persons that work on this master program, and depending on their speciality, they different people will also answer the questions. Later on, once you're accepted to the program, we will organize this kind of sessions again, and at that time, also the other team members will also participate in this kind of webinars. Yeah? Good. That brings me to the end of my presentation. So now I would like to take questions from the floor. So I will open the chat. So you can use the chat box in order to post your questions. Keep an eye on the chat box. So right now we are 58 people that are watching at the same time. And as I can read from the chat, they differ from France, Bali, Ghana, Italy, Ireland, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Timor, California. So I think Japan, So it's kind of, it shows immediately the kind of nationalities and diversity that we have in our student population in this master program. So Thomas Lavorel asks the first question. If we applied last year, do we need to ask other referee reports, or can we send you the same reports? You will have to ask different referee reports, Thomas, because you are not uploading the referee reports. So the referee reports are things that are uploaded by the referees, and I would expect that you may have new referees that you want to add, for example. So you apply to the current program. So your application of last year is not, we do not look back at the one of last year. Question by Thomas Power, are all the modules taught in English? Yes, we are a fully taught English taught program. So wherever you study, if it's in Italy or in France or in Galway or in Ghent, everything will be in English. For the language certificate, is it possible to submit a Cambridge language skill test? I think the easiest answer, and I will direct you immediately to our website for this. There is a page, if you look at the admission requirements, there you can actually read the different types of tests that you can submit. So it's TOEFL, it's indeed also Cambridge, etc. etc. Is it possible to apply on the second round if I don't make it on the first round? Of course, this is possible. So if not everything is completed, for example, in the first round, so also applications that are not, where the referee statements have not arrived, for example, that are incomplete, are automatically shifted to the second round. Yeah. Can we choose the first name of the generic IMBSC email? That's actually a good question. Normally, we take first name, last name, but sometimes, indeed, if you have a special request on that for specific reasons, that's something we can deal with at a later stage. Yeah. If I fail in the first round, can I apply again for the second round? If you're not academically accepted, you cannot apply again. Yeah, totally not. So you can only submit one application per application round. Yeah. Do you have partners for internships and professional experiences? And do you have some instances? Yes, in total we have a network of around 100 associate partners. Through our website you can normally also get access to the full list of these partners. And they are all over the world: Latin America, Asia, the Pacific, America, Europe. So they're really everywhere in order to get there. Can we stay in the same university for the first 2 semesters? Yes, you can. The mobility rule in the master program is as such that you have to study in at least 2 different countries, different from the country where you obtained your last diploma. So if you're a Belgian student, then it's you can start your in Ghent, for example. There's no problem. Then you can stay in Ghent. There's no problem. But then your second year, for example, you have to be away for the remaining 2 semesters at 2 different countries. For your third semester module and your thesis. So that's the rule. So you can also go back to several universities. And for people actually that need a visa, I often recommend that you are not too tropical on the number of mobilities, because this has a strong impact on your visa administrative elements you have to get through. So don't underestimate this. Then we have a question from Yuvarini. The language skills, is it possible to submit it later? As I mentioned already, yes, it's possible. Just make sure that you have booked already an appointment, or that you can show proof at the stage of application that in a later stage you will do a test. Of course, you will have to do this test and pass this test. That's also quite important. Then, thank you very much for the information. I wanted to know if my situation. I'm French, but I did my Bachelor of Science in Canada. And why would that be a problem? You can normally, with your Canadian diploma, your Bachelor of Science, you can perfectly apply to a program. We have this kind of situation on a very regular basis, that we have people that have already kind of a multinational pre-experience. So no problem to apply. Margarita Medina, since I am third-year university student in application, I would be upload a certificate of enrollment with the exam. Is the problem to upload these documents in Italian? Here I advise you, you can upload them in Italian, as we have also an Italian partner, but I advise you then to maybe at this stage add also some pages into the PDF where you translate where needed also some information, just to make sure that your evaluator does not get subtracted or they cannot understand what is there. Hello, thank you for the presentation. Blah, blah, blah. I do not have a marine biological background during bachelor's. Okay, that's perfectly okay. You don't need to have a marine science background. You studied chemical biology. I think that's a perfect entry point for this master program. You in the first semester, that's why we have a first semester with fundamental courses. And the fundamental courses are there just to make sure that we bring every student on the same level when it comes to basic marine concepts, and so that's perfectly okay to have a slightly diverging diploma. Will you accept legalized provisional degree certificate for the enrollment process? Yes, we will accept this, but keep in mind that once you start your studies, we will need the formal documents. If the formal documents do not come in, you cannot provide them, then you will be expelled from the program. And we had these cases before, so it's for the moment it could be okay, but keep it in mind that this is exceptional and that things might not be in the end that easy. Do you have partners for internship and professional experience, and do you have some instances? Yeah, I think this answer was already answered. Then, if my bachelor degree was completed in English, do I have to provide English proficiency test? Arjun, if you the answer on this is no, because one of the types of certificates, as explained on the website and also in the application form, is that if you can prove that you had at least 1 year of higher studies in English, then we consider this also as a valid proof of knowledge of English. Copies of higher education diploma and academic transcript of records must be submitted without being legalized yet, but should be translated. I think that's a very detailed question, and I think that's an easy one first to check out really on the website, on the application process. If it's not clear there, is to use the form, and to upload. So when you apply, I think if I'm correct and correctly understanding your question, when you apply, you have to upload scans of all the information you have. Yeah, and in a later stage, you will then also submit the legalized versions of this. Yeah, legalized should be translated in a language, in one of the languages of our consortium. So French, English, Dutch, for example. That's all accepted as a translation. Yeah. Next question. I received a bachelor degree in nautical science. Is it possible to apply for this program even without a biological background? This one you can apply, but I'm not guaranteeing that you will be accepted, because this is a typical diploma that falls in the area of where we check actually the courses that you had, the university you studied in, that we go in detail, and that we check whether you have sufficient background to start also the program. So you can apply, but I'm not guaranteeing that you kind of, from an academical point, that you have the best back end. Yeah. If applying for the Erasmus Mundus grant, do all 3 taught semesters need to be different? No, same mobility rule is valid there. So you have to study in at least 2 different countries, different from the one where you obtained your last diploma. What does copy of bachelor degree diploma mean? It's at this stage, it's indeed okay to upload a scan, a readable scan, please, of what you have so far, and then submit it in this way. In a later stage, we will need kind of the legal version, the correct version of your diploma. But there you will be also receiving, once you're accepted to the program, we will also inform you on these elements as well. Where we have to legalize diploma and transcript. That's Delio, that's something I just mentioned, is once you're accepted to the program, don't start sending us these legalized versions yet. Wait until you have been receiving your acceptance. You can already prepare these documents. As soon as you're accepted, you will be informed with the address and also potential numbers that you have to mention on the envelope, just to make sure that your things don't get lost. I wanted to know if my situation work. I already did this question. The Canadian diploma. Information on scholarships. Besides the Erasmus Mundus, we foresee during studies, you can apply in most of the universities for regular Erasmus mobility grants for supporting 1 semester of mobility. That's things we will inform you on once you are in the program, because that's things you cannot apply for that beforehand. So that's otherwise we don't have many specific special grants, and there the best is to check, for example, if there's on specific websites of the universities, for example, additional applications opening. If we see that if we hear information and you have submitted your application and you fall within a group of students that there is additional grants available, we will also inform you about this. In the section Study Data Bachelor Degree, it says Bachelor Degree obtained, or you will obtain in years, in the coming years or in this year. So that's, I think that's what it refers to, is actually the Bachelor Degree on the basis of which you apply for this program. If I want a specific organization to have me as an intern during the professional practice, how can they apply to be part of your list? Good question. We have on our website, let me move again to the website. Just switch so you can see the screen again. We have our partners. If you go to the section partner, here you have partner, and there is a section become a partner, and that section actually explains how you have to become a partner and what they should do for this. So I would like to direct you to that part of the website for this. How many places do you have for scholarship? In total, we will have between 20 and 25 different scholarships, of which 4 to 6 are allocated to EU students, and the rest is for non-EU students. I can't give you the exact number simply because we look at the applications that come in, and then we decide, okay, whether they are over the different years. If we have many really top students, it may say we may go up, for example, and say we allocate more students. If we have specific scholarships also for specific regions as well. And sometimes it really depends on that. So so the idea is around between 20 and 25. Why can't we make the first semester of the master in University of Bergen? Simply because the University of Bergen is not offering this semester in our master program. So when we made our consortium, we asked all the partners, okay, what they can and want to offer in terms of specializations. And so, the ones that are offering the first semester are the ones that also accepted to organize these courses as you see them there. Is it important to submit as soon as possible in the same round of application? No. So we don't start evaluating until we have received all the applications in one round. So if you apply now, today, or within 2 weeks, or just on the 30th of January, that's all the same. A copy of the transcript of records. Transcript of records is a document that shows you all the courses you have taken, including also the evaluations of these courses. So what are the score you obtained? Note that mostly you also will have a document from your university that explains also the scoring system try to add this as well because it helps us to understand what we can or how your score distribution system is at your specific university. Do you have feedbacks of your old students which found a job abroad or in one of the company partners? Yes, we have this kind of information. For example, during the last annual symposium, the online one, we did different round tables with alumni where they actually witnessed on where they are, and people are in a whole range of jobs, going from conservation to marine tourism to research positions to people working at the European Commission or in fisheries management, also teachers. So it's really highly diverse where our graduates end up. Yeah. I will graduate at the end of July. Is the problem that I deliver diploma by the end of July, beginning of August? Totally no problem. Yeah, it's perfectly possible. At the moment, you can just upload already the documents what you have and a statement from your university, and that should do to finish the application process. Yeah. If I have another master degree, is the load to put it in the application? Why not? You can upload it, and it actually just makes your application stronger, or it shows that indeed your background. So be honest on what you have obtained already. It's not that because you have already a master, for example, that your chances to get a scholarship are higher. Yeah, it really depends on the total package that you submit. What is the Erasmus Mundus grant and how can we apply for it? In the application form that you use to apply for the program, you can just indicate that you are accepting or that you want to apply on the section scholarships. That you want to apply for it. The Erasmus Mundus grant itself, also again on our website we explain what it is. So it's a number of grants we receive from Erasmus Mundus as our program is selected as an Erasmus Mundus program, which is a label from the European Commission. And the grant corresponds to the tuition fee that is paid together with a monthly allowance of around €1,000 to cover your living expenses. Thank you for the information. I had a question about a residency document. I do not have any of the suggested documents. Could I submit a bank statement with my address? I think that should be okay. As well, I just need a proof, or we just need a proof, and that's something from the EU, Erasmus Mundus. We need to make sure that you're indeed applying from a certain country, and we need the proof that you are in a specific country. If a bank statement is okay, it could be a gas bill, electricity bill, a phone bill, or whatever. So your correspondence address at the moment, or something showing that you live at a specific address at the moment of application. That's important, especially if you apply for an Erasmus Mundus scholarship. You could have, for example, a Canadian citizenship, for example, but live in France. At that moment, you are not eligible to apply as a non-EU student. So that's why we need this kind of statement that it shows correctly. Also, it's used to calculate the traveling distance, because you also get a travel for non-EU students, and that travel actually is based on the number of kilometers that you have to correspond. Voila. So I did 1 year of the Erasmus in an English-speaking program. Does it count of higher education? I would say yes, as long as you can submit proof that you indeed did this. Hello, is it alright to upload unofficial transcripts? Those we can get off their school websites for program application and send official transcripts. Yeah, that's perfectly possible at this stage. Lokish, I'm in the final year of my undergraduate. Yep. Will get my final result in June, July, but university most probably will provide the real degree in August, September. What to do? This is a case we have and many times, and I already explained earlier on that at this stage you just submit what you have, also an indication, a document from your university, a letter, whatever, where they state that indeed, your final diploma will only be available at a later stage, and you apply at this stage. It means also you can be conditionally accepted. So if you fail for some reasons you cannot get to your final diploma, you will not be if you're enrolled in the program, your enrollment will be stopped later on. Will the acceptance letter and the scholarship selection be informed at the same time? Yes, indeed. I took some subjects in English during Erasmus. Okay, that answered when I had a unique situation. I cannot obtain a photo of my bachelor degree diploma. Is there another document that can be submitted? Yeah, I think, Marisa, these are things, your situation looks particular. Yeah, it might be good to send us an email where you explain in detail what your current situation is, and that you eventually also ask for, if needed, or you give also your other contact details so we can get in touch with you to see what can be done in this case. I'm not sure because whole diploma acceptance things, for example, are things that are dealt with at university level, and we are just mid-term people that we are the broker between you and the legal offices of the university. I was accepted 1 year before but self-funded student. Is it possible to apply again? Yes, it is possible to apply again, but you will have to fill out again the full application and give an update on your situation, and you can see how you are evaluated this year. Is that possible to extend the time for paying the first part of the tuition fee, €1,000, because I want to wait until the result of the scholarship is announced? Result of scholarship and acceptance is announced at the same time. Yeah, so it's all at the same time, and it's only by paying that you will actually guarantee your place. So it's up to you to organize like that. So the information on the website, as you kind of stated here, is indeed correct. Yeah. How do I secure my admission until scholarship award result is out, considering I can't afford to deposit and won't be self-funded funding my study? Yeah, but if you apply in the first round and we say that you are accepted, but you don't get a scholarship, yeah, then also in the second round for sure you will not get a scholarship. Yeah, so that's the situation. So actually, you get immediately an idea of whether or not you will be accepted to the program, and whether then it's up to you whether you decide to continue or not. Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's something I will check then. Isa, I see your follow-up chat. I will check with our team to check whether this is indeed correct, this information. Yeah, I will update on that. Do you have special grants for Central Asia? Because I think I'm one of from the small number of people from this region. Yeah, indeed, there is a window from Central Asia. You can apply, but I hope you will have also a good background, because it's not because you are from the region and you would be the only student from the region that you get a scholarship. In the former edition, we had several scholarships that we did not use simply because the level of applications was not high enough. You have special. Okay, then here study programs last 5 years. At 4 years, we get the Bachelor of Science, and the fifth is a professional title. These share the same academic transcript, but are different diplomas. What can I list that properly? How can I list that properly? I would upload what you have. Normally, your documents will also show that the length of your study program, and you still have also your CV you can upload. And there as well, you can add a statement where this is documented. Yeah. The documents from the EU also need to be legalized, like transcripts from an EU university. There I refer you also to the website that clearly explains from which countries. Yeah, there's a link provided as well to the Ghent University website, that even per country, certain countries, for example, that explains there how to do this. Yeah, I'll just have a look also at our website, admission requirements. And voila. I'll share my screen again. So here you see the on the page admission requirements, and I think that's a critical page to read before you start applying. Diploma legalization requirements. If you go through this, yeah, the legalization method depends on the country where the diploma was issued. Here you can actually check, and you get immediately information on the method, and then you can see the different types of things here, and then you can again click and see the requirements. So I think it's quite well explained. So please read the website before you apply, so you don't make mistakes while you are applying. Yeah. Then okay. I know that Ghent offers a program for students to work some hours for a salary. Can international students also be part of that program? Yes, that's perfectly possible. It's not a specific program, it's just the jobs, student jobs we have at our university. It's a job service, and then any student of Ghent University can apply for the job. Not saying that you will get a job, but that's the situation. Yeah. Do you know if other student universities have similar programs? I think if you look at the website of these universities, you also find the contact details of the local coordinators on our website. So that's the way to go. Yeah. Interesting question from Ania. How many applications total are there usually? Last year we had in total around 650, I think, applications. So a lot, if I may. But it's really depending from year to year, from situation to situation. So yeah, it's hard to say. I completed my degree in 2020. I got a professional, but I didn't get my degree certificate yet due to the pandemic. Yeah, what should I do now? Yeah, I think important for you is to make sure you have an official documents or official statements. Electronic statements can also be okay in this case. Yeah, and proof indeed that due to the pandemic this is delayed. Yeah, so just you as a student saying that certain things cannot be delivered in time will never be accepted. You will always have to try to find additional information. You know, do I have to provide the residence proof during the application process? Yes. So the most recent residence proof is what you have to supply us with. Thanks for the information. Question. Italian government could release it only in Italian. Will this be a problem? It's one of the languages of a consortium, so normally this should be okay. Yeah, and if it's readable, maybe add a small translation with it itself. We also have in a selection board, we also have an Italian speaking person, so I think it should be okay. What does it mean to have a rigorous background to qualify for this study program? A rigorous background. It means that your background should be, your study should be matching in a way, for example, and that you match. We do a rigorous check actually on your background and the information you supply. I don't know from which part of the website you took this. It's not that I wrote all the parts on the website. Yeah, and just clarify after the first term, applications will be notified in the academically accepted as well accepted for the Erasmus Mundus. Yes, this will be clarified after I check this with our team members, just that you know and need the most up-to-date information. Voila. Just checking, I think I answered, or at least I tried to answer most of the questions. We planned to organize this webinar for 1 hour. We're now at 1 hour exactly. Yes, you have your official translation, and now I'm waiting for the question related to that. You retracted the question. Yeah. What is the required results of the bachelor degree to apply? We don't have required minimal levels. Of course, the lower your results, also the lower your rank, the less possible, for example, that you will be accepted. And also it's hard for us to put a certain level because we have so many nationalities that apply, so many local arrangements are in place that it's impossible to say, okay, you have to have at least that or that level. Yeah, so we accept and we hope that we can state on this, that we accept mainly good students, yeah, because we also want we want to be sure that you can complete the program in the 2 years as we have it. Yeah. If you had around 650 applications last year, how many students will be accepted? 650 resulted in about 120 students that in the end got into the program. If I have official translation of diploma from the faculty dean, do I need to provide from sworn translation? I think if your university is an English-speaking university, an English taught, then this should be sufficient. If your diploma is in another language, yeah, then you need, of course, a good translation. So, but I think if you did your studies in English, then normally you also get an English certificate for it or a diploma, and then this should be okay. I'm a non-EU applicant. The copies of the educational requirements could be submitted in the original language. They can be submitted in the original language, but check again the website, as I mentioned before, because there it's explained on admission. It's explained, yeah, how you have to translate them, and when we need indeed translations as well of these documents. Yeah, we don't speak every language in the world. We speak a lot of languages in our team, but not everything. Good. I see that the number of questions is calming down, so I hoped with this webinar that is also recorded, so you can also watch it again afterwards. Yeah, and this will help you then to make good applications. I see another question coming in. Is the ranking system the same throughout all universities? And what is the ranking? I don't have I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, I don't understand the question. The other question is, my passport is expired on October 22. Can I submit it in the application process and extend it if I get acceptance before entering EU? I think that's perfectly possible. That's things you actually should check with your national authorities and also with the embassy of the country you will apply for. But that's only possible once you know, of course, your mobility in the program. So don't start on, for example, asking for visa, because that will be in a later stage. What if my residence information indicates my family name and not, is there a document that I can upload to provide my residence, like birth certificate or national ID? Tricky. Birth certificate is not necessarily where you live now. I would say we just need some kind of statement. It doesn't matter what official statement that proves in some way or another that you're residing at a specific place. Because if in the end it comes out that you were not living, for example, outside Europe and you're stating that at the application process, this may lead to an expel from the program. And also we will get punished by the EU on the fact that we did not properly check these things, these eligibility criteria. Yeah, I think that's yeah. I would not stress too much about these proofs of addresses, because these are not the things that we use to accept you to the program or not. These are only things that help us, for example, to identify, for example, your distance, yeah, and whether you apply for as a non-EU or as an EU student. Yeah. I am provided with official provisional alert signed by the colleague, since it will be taken to get the degree. Is that enough? For the moment, that's enough. But you will not getting your diploma, Arshad. Yeah, you will not be getting your diploma until also these other documents have been provided. And this means that if, for example, in the period you cannot, while you're studying the program, you cannot submit the final official documents, yeah, you will finish your studies, and we had this case already before. Well, you will never get a diploma from us. Yeah. So that's again university rules. So I really encourage you, and that's a minimal requirement. I'm sorry for that. That you get to the paperwork and that you follow the rules as they are explained. The grading system is not the same through all universities. That's again things you can also find on our website. So check the website where the grading system normally is also explained. But that's things we will explain you as well at the start of the program. Once you're accepted during webinars, we go in detail on these sections as well. You can write it as you want, as what is available. How can you write the GPA on the application form? Yeah, you can just write, but make sure that on the diploma then in the end, the same documents or the same values are there. You don't have to do recalculations. So someone from the US and France on a visitor's visa counts as an EU applicant. Yeah. If you have resided more than 3 months in the year before you start your studies in the EU, yeah, you will be considered as a EU applicant. Very important. Yeah. So someone from the US and France on a visit, yeah, EU applicant, yeah, that's how many students obtain Erasmus Mundus scholarship accepted this year. Yeah, I already answered this question earlier. We had, so it's between 20 and 25. I don't know the exact numbers. Good. I think it's time because I have another meeting coming up very soon. So I would like to thank you all for being present here. It's always nice to see that this kind of info sessions leads also to many questions, and that a lot of people from all over the world, yeah, are actually watching, and it's a first connection. I really wish you a good end of the year, a safe end of the year, a healthy end of the year, and I wish you all the best with completing your application form. I'm really looking forward to reading and helping evaluating many of the applications that come in, and I really hope in the end that in September next year, yeah, we will meet you in person in our program in IMBRC. So thank you very much, and have a nice day, continuation of your day. Bye-bye.